vote to release the final report. If you've been following this closely, you may recall that that is due Wednesday, and that remains the case. This is them Monday having the vote on important stuff and clearing the report for a release date of Wednesday. But as with any committee, they have to actually hold the vote to release what is this long-expected conclusion to the voluminous investigation. All of this comes as some other evidence has been uncovered. Secret texts to the #1 Trump official during that period in January when they were trying to stage a coup, Mark Meadows.
I want to talk about the January 6th committee's final report. It's coming out on Monday, and Donald Trump is looking at charges.
30 members of Congress texted Meadows along various lines. One Republican, Ralph Norman, wrote about an idea to invoke martial law, saying we're at a point of no return in saving our republic. Our last hope is invoking martial law. Please urge the president to do so. Or Jim Jordan, a well-known Republican poised to take more power in the gavel when Republicans take over the House in January, was texting on January 5th, that's of course Insurrection Eve, that there was an unconstitutionally appointed elector, like an unconstitutionally enacted statute is no elector at all. You will note that is a baseline of the planned legalistic coup that they wanted to do the next day, meaning even had nobody ever entered the Capitol illegally, they still wanted to unconstitutionally put forward fraudulent electors to stop the peaceful transfer of power under law.
Will the Justice Department actually do anything about it? Remains to be seen.
And Brian Babin, another Republican, said, quote, Mark, when we lose Trump, we lose our republic. Fight like hell and find a way. DNI needs to task NSA to immediately seize and begin looking for international communications related to Dominion. Was China malware involved, he asks? Why can't we just work with the Italian government? Is the follow-up.
This will be the first time that Congress has recommended charges for a former president. He's guilty of obstruction. He's guilty of stopping an official proceeding. He's guilty of insurrection. Donald Trump gets a trial. A jury of his peers will get to weigh the evidence. This is just about whether or not we're going to charge him. But he broke the law. He should be charged.
Congress prepares through its committee to do something that it's never done before, potentially formally refer a former president for prosecution by the Justice Department. Those are the stakes as we go into this next week.
Just this week, another one of the famous insurrectionists got sentenced to 5 years. The guy that chased the officer down the staircase. He's going to jail for all day. What about Donald Trump? What about all these congressmen who were involved in the insurrection? We now know that literally dozens of congressmen were calling for martial law. How is it that a person serving in Congress could ask the chief of staff and the president of the United States for martial law and not break the law? If it's not illegal to do that, it fucking should be. What the hell are we doing?
They will have to take some really deep steps to think about whether criminal referrals are necessary here. I mean, it seems like we have quite a significant number of elected representatives in the federal legislature who believe that Donald Trump was erroneously robbed of the presidency and did everything in their authority to try and thwart the transition of Joe Biden to the presidency. I mean, it really is an astonishing tranche of text messages.
Charge Donald Trump and get his ass off the street. He ought to be in prison. Or we're just going to let him grow old and die in Mar-a-Lago, having destroyed American democracy. No. He should go to prison. Anyone involved in the insurrection should go to prison. Anyone involved in the coup should go to prison. Hundreds already have. Why not him?
When's the 45 days up? What date starts the clock? November 3rd. If it is, then that's December 18th. China bought Dominion in October for $400 million. If that's not interference, then should have a report with details and specifics that would validate that either way. And if they didn't call me, I have some fireworks coming out of AZ early tomorrow. Call me anytime. I'm up. I would say, well, one person out of 435 in Congress is one thing. But what about when it's dozens? And what about when they acted on it? And what about when inside the DOJ Trump had help? What about the fact that they were trying to enact, some of them, a bloodless coup?
Right. They're very excited and excitable. And the tone of these texts is a willingness to believe, an eagerness to believe, and to persuade Mark Meadows to take action. There's just this sense of, time is slipping away. We have to do something. Martial law, laws are unconstitutional or could be. A kind of anything goes atmosphere. And it must have been quite something for Meadows to be pinged with all of these requests, to then be sort of trying to check out some of them with the Justice Department. I mean, you just get this sense of frenzied activity in the days after the election and leading up to January 6th.
For that matter, why not Mark Meadows? This guy is as crooked as the day is long. What are we gonna do, y'all? If you're one of the crazies who thinks that the FBI did this, tell me so in the comments. If you're a nutter who still thinks Donald Trump is a great man, tell me so in the comments. If you're so weak as to not be able to handle my answer, then don't bother. I am sick and tired of all of you people with your little manifestos leaving comments under my videos and then deleting it because you don't like my answer. If you got the balls to leave a comment, show some cojones and hear the answer. But I know you won't, because you're Trumpers. And no one has thinner skin than Republicans. That's why they shed it so often. Like snakes. And now, it's time to shed Donald Trump. Oh look! New Ron DeSantis skin! How exciting! Y'all take it easy. I'm Zachariah Lone Star Liberal.
Insiders are saying that the House January 6th committee will refer at least 3 criminal charges against Donald Trump. But after this week, I think he's pretty much locked down that insanity plea. Semi-retired maniac Donald Trump has launched a collection of digital NFT trading cards depicting him in various costumes, including cowboy, superhero, and most unbelievable of all, guy who didn't dodge the draft.
Insiders are concerned that the rivalry between Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis could lead to a civil war within the party, which is perfect because they already have the flags.